Wait a second. Yeah, no doubt that Ms. Haryani had a lot of experience for us to share. And I hope especially for students and also alumni who join this session, please use this opportunity to learn a lot from the expert, yeah, in teaching in international school. Another thing I forgot to mention, almost forgot to mention that Miss Multi Haryani was also one of, what is it? What do we call assessor? Right, Multi, for
Yes.
PGSD ya? Oh no, for TK ya, for PAUD ya, PAUD, for early childhood education level in Indonesia. So prepare your notes, okay, guys, to write down everything interesting and important, and ask as many questions as you can. So without talking too long, so I would like to give the microphone to Miss Multi Haryani. Time is yours.
Thank you, Miss Yuni. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Okay.
All right. I'd like to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Please call me Multi, and I am the head of early years of Mandalika Intercultural School here in Lombok. This is my second year in Lombok, and previously I was a preschool teacher for 7 years in Australian International School in Balikpapan. So this is me when I was working in Australian International School, AIS Balikpapan, for 7 years. And then after that, I received my Master of Education in Early Childhood in Monash University, Australia. That's 2016, 2018. And then after that, this is my current job, Mandalika Intercultural School, and I'm the head of the early years. In this occasion, Miss Yuni asked me to share what are the challenges and the opportunity of working in international school. As you know that Miss Yuni explained before that I was FKIP Unmul graduate S1 English department. So at that time, in your time right now, I never thought that I would be the head of early years in one of the international schools. So at that time, I only thought that I will be an English teacher, maybe in private institutions, or English teachers in one of the schools, like maybe SD, SMP, or SMA, or maybe a lecturer. At that time, my wildest dream was the English lecturer like Miss Yuni right now. But my destiny is not in lecturing. Right now, I'm the head of the early years. It's so different than what I thought. So how can I be in this position? That's interesting, because at that time, after graduating from Mula Warman University, I applied for some jobs. And then during that application process, one of the the job that I applied for was for international school, but it didn't say anything like international, like real international school. It's only says like, we are one of the international school and we are looking for a teaching assistant at the moment, So I think, why? Well, just have a go and then try. And then I was accepted to be the teaching assistant. And that time I was surprised that it was real international school. What I mean by real is that like expat students, expat teachers. I thought it's international school like schools, like maybe just using the international curriculum, but doesn't have the international students or international teachers. So I was surprised when I was accepted. Oh, it's the real international schools. And when I was the teaching assistant, these are the challenges. Even when I was teacher, the challenges and the opportunity that I see. So it is really based on my experience, my personal experience, the challenges and opportunities that I encounter during my experience, during my time. So, Miss Yuni, before I start, can I check how is your arrangement for question and answer?
You have 1 hour to do the presentation, and then we have 30 minutes to question and answer.
Oh, so that's how you arrange that? So, how
or do you want to do you want to have another way? It's okay. We can.
Oh, okay. All right. So every time I finish explaining like one point, I'd like to have one question at least. So
okay, so again,
I'm not coming back.
direct.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, that will be better. So it's still fresh. Okay, guys. So you are invited to ask question directly. Just raise your hand right after Ms. Multi finish explaining probably one point or one slide. Probably, I don't know. You can also type your question anytime on the chat box. Okay.
So it's more like a fluid, like flowing.
Yeah. So it's like discussion.
Yes.
Casual discussion. So not really like
lecturing.
Lecturing. Okay, this is not lecturing. So
because
this is
I'm not a lecturer.
So this is sharing session. So if you have already had any question, just write all of them on the chat box, or later when Miss Multi open the session, you can open it directly, Miss Multi, no problem. So probably in 1 or 2 minutes, I might away from the computer, then you can open if they have a question. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay, guys.
All right, so feel free. It's like discussions. It's like
ini ngobrol.
Yes.
Kita ngobrol. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now, the first challenge that I faced when I joined the international school is that I don't know the international curriculum. That's the basic. That's really the first thing, the international curriculum. And then the second thing is that because it's a very diverse students coming in that school, meaning that it's not only Indonesians, it's expatriate students like Spanish, Dutch, French, Japanese. So the next challenge that I encounter was that ESL, or we call it EAL right now. Miss Yuni, is it ESL or EAL?
Still EFL.
ESL, still ESL.
Foreign language still.
Oh, okay. Because some of the kids that I thought they have like 3 languages. So English is not their second. It can be their 3rd language or 4th language. So I don't know what terminology to say that. Is it English as additional language or is it English as second language? So that's another problem. when I joined international school. And then the next one is special education. I didn't know anything about it. Special education, meaning that in the class you might have a children or child with additional needs that you have to do something about it. So it's special education. And then another thing, another big thing is that cross-cultural understanding. I still remember that I had this subject in when I was in Unmul. It was with Miss Dia Sunggingwati, cross-cultural understanding. So yeah, it helped that unit. And then another problem that I encounter in international school is that teachers' professional ethics, and then level subject specialization, new Indonesian teachers or TA, and then work-life balance. All right, I'm going to the next one, the international curriculum. The international curriculum that I get used to is Australian curriculum, because last school was Australian International School, and this school, Mandalika Intercultural School, is also using Australian curriculum. In every level, they have their own curriculum. I will tell you about ACARA and Early Years Learning Framework, because this is that we use in kindergarten. For ACARA is for foundation class, while Early Years Learning Framework is for under 5 years old. So ACARA means Australian Curriculum Authority and Reporting, Australian Curriculum Assessment and Reporting Authority. So in ACARA, for example, you are teaching a subject, you are teaching a physical education for the kid. If you look in ACARA for 5 years old, for example, for 5-year-old, you're going to ACARA and find out the outcomes. It's like the curriculum standard when you are teaching physical education for 5 years old. You need to find the outcomes, what you have to achieve, the outcomes. So from that ACARA, then you need to plan the lesson based on the outcomes that you have. Early Years Learning Framework it's the same. It's Early Years Learning Framework. It's for under 5 years old. So in that curriculum, you need to find the outcomes that you need to follow. And if you are a new teacher, it's not hard, but it takes time. It's not that hard to understand, but it takes time for you to get used to it. And then teaching philosophies in early years, we have like teaching philosophies that sometimes school want to follow. For example, Montessori, for example, or Reggio Emilia or Waldorf. So what's that? If you are new, graduating from English department, what's Montessori? What's Reggio Emilia? What's Waldorf? What's Early Years Learning Framework? What's ACARA? So that's the first challenge. And I'd like to stop there, and I would like to have a questions or two about the international curriculum, or maybe any of you have experience in other curriculum that you know, for example, British curriculum or international baccalaureate or American curriculum or New Zealand curriculum. Please feel free to share. Any questions about international curriculum?
Yeah, Ms. Murthy, probably you can explain what is the main difference between what you have here in Indonesia and what you had there in international curriculum.
The similarities or the difference?
Both, I think.
Oh, okay. So during my master degree, I had the chance to study or some of the curriculums in the world, and the more I study variety of curriculums, the more I come to my own conclusions that curriculums are typically the same. Like it's just different in bits and pieces, but it has their own, it has their default. Like curriculum must have the outcomes, that the things, and curriculum have teaching strategies. So for example, I will give you the daily examples. Malls are the same, right? They have the same. They might have different outlook from the outside, but inside there must be like cinema or restaurant or clothes shopping department, something like that. It's the same like the curriculum. The curriculum might have different what is the wrapping. The wrapping might be different, or the features, not the features, what is the outside look might be different, but inside, if you look closely, they are quite similar. It's just like the Indonesian curriculum now, the curriculum Merdeka. So it's quite similar to one of the curriculums from other country. So it's like a combination of everything. It's just, you just need to get used to it. Okay. Hello?
Okay, Ms. Murthy.
All right, Ms. Murthy.
Yes. Okay. Is there any more questions, or can I go to the next point?
There's a question in the chat box.
Oh, yeah.
From any method or technique, is there any favorite based on your perception or ideals? Okay, and why?
Oh, yeah. Miss Yuni, I cannot find my chat box.
Sorry, Ms. Murthy.
Oh, yeah. Here. It's hiding. Sorry. Okay. From so many methods or techniques or curriculum, is there any favorite based on your perceptions and idea? Yes, I have my preference. And my preference is one of the teaching philosophies called Reggio Emilia. Reggio Emilia. If that's for early years only, yeah, that's not for primary or not for secondary, but that's only for early years. And if I want to explain about Reggio Emilia, I need to have another presentation about that, because that's such a big discussions. Okay, Reggio Emilia, you can have your independent research about that. Reggio Emilia.
Maybe you can type how the correct spelling of that name, because that's probably we will write different name later.
Okay.
In the chat box, maybe Miss Murthy.
Yes. Reggio Emilia.
Okay.
Yes. So Reggio Emilia believes that every individual is unique, and every individual children have their own strengths and weaknesses that we need to explore in the classroom. That's why we need to provide differentiated learning and individuals learning program for the children. if you take a red line from that, you can see that it's Kurikulum Merdeka, right? So one of the, I personally think that Kurikulum Merdeka is taking some of the philosophies from Reggio Emilia. Okay. All right, the next one. Oh, sorry. The next one is English as second language. I already mentioned earlier that so many children with different backgrounds, different nationalities, so language is a problem. So how do you cope with that is that you need to have strategies in the class and you need to have strategies at home. So class and home should work together to help the kids to be able to follow the lessons. The strategies in the class for the early years that normally we use is that sometimes we have the instructions in both language. So if the child is Spanish, I need to have a little notebook about some of the instructions in Spanish. And one of my co-worker used to have his Google Translate, because at that time we have a Japanese boy and none of us know Japanese at all. So she used Google Translate to talk to the little boy. So, and also in the lessons, we will have the English as second language lessons if needed, if necessary. And the strategies at home is that we inform parents about the language that we use at school, so the parents can do the same at home. So it's both ways. The children later on will understand some vocabularies in English. Do you know any strategies that works in your class that you have done before?
Sit in the front, maybe. Sit in the front, because if we sit in the back, I worry that I cannot hear the teacher or the lesson.
Okay. Is your class is having like the seating like the old days seating arrangement that the students who sit at the back will not hear the teacher at the front?
Yeah, probably, because
Yes.
yeah,
All right.
I have
So
yeah.
in international school, normally the seating arrangement is not like that. Our furnitures are customed that it is flexible to be moved in any ways or any directions. So it can be U-shaped, it can be octagon, it can be hexagon, it can be split in any ways. So there is no issues about not hearing the teacher, because we know that furniture arrangement is really important in the class. If you have taught a child before, maybe you know some strategies that you use in the class. Any more?
Okay, everybody who has any experience teaching students, teaching young learners, either in non-formal classroom or formal classroom, please, you are free to share your experience also.
Okay. If not,
Maybe
then
we can go on.
yes, we can
mungkin.
go on to special educations. So, in international school, most international school are inclusive school. Inclusive means you accept children with many abilities, means that it's possible that a child with additional needs is being accepted. However, the school needs to have a support for that. I'll give you one example that is commonly happen is a kid with autism spectrum disorder. So if you are new and you are teaching a class with a kid with autism spectrum disorder, the school should have arrangement for that. If in a big school, normally international school will have their special department with someone who is responsible for that. And that special department will do a partnership with psychologists to assess the kid, because you cannot start special education if there is no assessment from psychologists. Teachers cannot assess children with special needs because that's not our job. Our job is for teaching them. For assessing their psychological needs, it should be psychologists. So if the school is small, maybe they don't have special department. The teachers should do it by themselves. But before you do that, you need to know the assessment from the psychologist. The parent, for example, bring the document from the psychologist to you. And then with that document, you work with her. What strategies that you can do at school so the kid can learn in the class, not disturbing the friends or not having tantrums or not having meltdowns in the class. And then after you get the strategies, you create what we call individual education plan. Because children with additional needs, they cannot follow the class plan that you have. You need to create the own plan for him or for her, because what she and he can do is that just that plan for him, not the whole class plan. For example, I'll give you a simple example. You are teaching a class and you're supposed to teach them to run, but a children with additional need, he cannot run yet because he is still in crawling stage. So how do you expect a crawling child to run? You cannot, right? So you need to have a plan for the crawling child to be able to join in your class with his own steps, but still in the class. And the one that you can accept in the class is only a kid, a children with autism spectrum disorder with a mild or maybe a little bit medium stage. If it is high, you cannot do it without a support of learning support assistant, or sometimes we call it shadow teacher, but for special education, we call it learning support assistant. So learning support assistant will work one by one with that child in the class to make sure he can follow the teacher's directions. Because if that's not happening, that kid will interfere the class dynamics for the kids and also for the teacher. So in another way, I'll say, like, you cannot have the class running if you accept a kid with high needs without learning support assistance. So special education Yes, it's happening in most of international schools. So if you are interested in applying in one of the international school, please make sure that you learn a little bit of special education because it will help you a lot. Any questions about special education?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, my name is, first of all, is my audio audible?
Yes, I can hear you. What's your name?
My name is Muhammad Indra Fatul Hafiz.
Slamet. Okay.
Muhammad Indra.
Oh, Muhammad Indra, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
Indra.
I have a question about special needs students. So
Mhm.
is there any international school that specialize on this special needs students? Or perhaps,
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes, there is. There is a school named Pro Education. I will write down here, yeah. Oh, I'm not doing what is selling here, but I just know this information, okay? So this is Pro Education. It's in Bali. So Pro Education School is specialized in special education. So they have proper arrangement for children with additional needs. Oh, there is a question, Indra, yes? Sorry, Indra? Pro Education in Bali, you can Google it.
Perhaps I also want to ask an additional question.
Yes.
So is the normal international school also accepts the special needs students?
Yes, most.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Indra. Fitria is typing in the chat box. Is there any difference in the books? Books, you mean the books used to teach children with special education in the international curriculum? The books, no, not really in the books, but it's the strategies. You need the strategies. The difference is the strategies. For example, a kid with autism disorder, he cannot hear a loud voice. For example, next to the school building, there is a construction big bang, 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 bang. And then he's in the class. He cannot listen to the teacher. What he can hear is that the bang, 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 bang. And that's his world. So the strategy is that he needs to use the headphones or noise canceling thing that reduce that thing. Then after you put that, then he can learn. If not, the whole day he's going to cry if he cannot speak yet. He's going to cry, or he's going to do something that you didn't expect, like you will expect behavior challenge. So not really particular in the books, but strategies. Yes, Fitra? Is that clear, Fitra? Fitra Bindi Sombopati? Is that clear? Okay. All right. Now we move to the next one. Level or subject specialization. So if you teach in international school, you will face this. Because you are English department student, right? So if the principal put you in earlier, you will have the earlier challenges. If the principal put you in primary years, you will have different challenges. In middle years, the same, different, and secondary different. So the challenge are different. For example, in early years, in my school here, now we have a toddler class. In toddler class, sometimes you need to change nappies because they are 2 years old. They still have nappies. So that's one of the challenge. If you don't have any child yet, you are not married yet, you don't have a child. So the challenge you need to change nappies. And the early years, the other challenge is because this is the first time they go to school for 3 years old, 4 years old. The first time they come to school, they have separation anxiety. Like if you have new kids coming to the class, oh no, it's gonna be crying again. So it's like never ending crying the whole year because you accept kids or the whole year, right? Not really following the like if a kid come in January, you accept, February accept. So it's not really in July, August, but our academic year is in July, August, but we accept anyone, anytime. So if 3 and 4 years old, when separate with mummies or daddy, crying, screaming. So that's the typical challenge in early years. And for the primary and middle years are different. Like sometimes they don't listen to the teacher. They have less respect for teachers. Like that's one of the challenges. And for subject, if you are teaching subjects in primary, for example, you are teaching, suddenly the principal appointed you to have, for example, English. You need to teach English for year 2 or grade 2. And then you have the challenge, like if you are English background, it's fine. It's not really hard. But if the principal asks you to teach math, for example, but you are English department graduate, you don't teach math, but you have to teach math. So it's a challenge. You have to master the content. You know, you are able to do the language, but you need to learn the content. That's the challenge for level and subject specialization. So every level or every subjects have their own challenge. It's different or it's not the same. Okay. Any questions about level or subject specialization?
I have a question about this.
Yes,
Yeah.
Indra?
Again, with me, Indra. So perhaps the question have some sort of correlation with the topic here. So let's just say there is an immigrant from Japan, right? And
Yes.
this immigrant has a children. So is this children of theirs have to attend international school for the rest of his or her life? So let's just say that they graduate from, as mentioned here, early years of international schools. Do they going to move to the primary level of international school, or perhaps at some point they need to attend public school like the local does?
You mean in Indonesia?
Yes, in Indonesia. They are an immigrant.
There is no rules about that, but mostly families are going to international school because the language of delivery is English.
So do they going to attend international school for the rest of their life?
It's depend on the parents. I don't know for the rest of their lives.
Okay.
It depends on the parents.
So there's no obligation.
Yeah, it depends on the parents. For example, most families, like, for example, they live in Japan before and they attend a state Japanese school, for example. But when the father moved to Indonesia for the job, so he needs to bring the family over. So dad wants to make sure that his kid can have education that is adequate to his own country, but with English language delivery. So the family must look for international school. If the local school can provide that, it's depend on the family. It's not, we don't have any regulation yet about that in Indonesia that expat must attend state school.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, the next challenge is that teachers' professional ethics.
Miss, I have a question.
Yes. What's your name?
Iqbal.
Iqbal. Yes, Iqbal. What's your question about? Sorry.
My question is, do you have any strategies for teaching primary school students? Because basically, I'm not a school teacher, but I'm teaching reciting Quran. But it seems like the students are kind of primary. It's hard to manage. Yeah. Sometimes I confused how to make him want to follow my instruction.
Okay, all right. So your question is classroom management for primary students. Do I have Mr. Rahman here? Mr. Rahman is my colleague from school, and he's attending this our sharing session. Mr. Rahman, are you here?
There's a participant named Rahman Ahmad. Is that the one?
Rahman, Mr. Rahman, are you here? Because Mr. Rahman is one of the primary teachers here. So I will ask him to share you strategies if he's here. Are you here?
Miss Multi,
Yes.
there is a participant here named Rahman Ahmad. Is that the one that you meant?
Yeah, I don't know his full name. His name is Rahman. Yeah.
Okay.
So Mr. Rahman is one of our primary teachers. So if he is here, then I will ask him to share his experience managing the primary students, because primary students have different characteristics than earlier student. Oh, I remember. Do I have Priscilla here? Priscilla Virgi.
No, I don't see the name on the list. I think Neo, are you here, Neo? We have also one. We have someone here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We have Neo. Let me introduce Neo. Yeah.
Yes.
Neo is teaching in an international school too.
Ah.
Not international school ya kata Neo ya. I don't know, Neo. Just
Okay.
share Neo. Okay.
No, it's not an international school. It's more like national plus school. So we use English as the medium of instruction, but it's not really an international school. Not yet.
But can you share strategies of managing the primary students?
For me, since I in charge with the lower primary, the thing that they need to know the most is the routine. Like, for example, when we go to the class, when you are sit down, you need to be quiet. You need to follow the order. Like, if they give this hand signal, it means that this hand signal, it means that they need to go to the toilet. If they give this hand signal, it means that they want to drink. So they need to know that kind of routine, so it wouldn't disrupt other kids like that. And also I have a special thing, like when I teach the primary one, I always have like a stick. I said as my magic wand. Whenever they started to like talking very loud, I will say pim pim pom. They will know that, oh, it's time to stop. So that kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. I will add with that. Who asked this question before?
Iqbal.
Oh, yeah, Iqbal. All right, Iqbal. So what Neo said before was right. One of the strategy to manage the student is that you set up rules, the classroom rules. And I suggest that you set up classroom rules, but not your rules, the students' rule. For example, because they can say their opinion, you can have, okay, this is our classroom. To make our classroom run smoothly, we need to set up some rules. What do you think the rules that we can set up? You might surprise, but in early years, the kids can make their own rules. And for example, they say that no biting. So they will draw big mouth with the sharp teeth, like no biting with cross, like no biting. Don't bite your friends, for example. So it's for early years. They can express their opinions or ideas. So for primary kids, you can do that, set up the rules. And then the second is that do the transition strategies. Transition means the movement between one lesson to the other lesson. For example, if you are teaching Quran, after teaching Quran, you have a break for play, and then you have Salat, and then you have pray, and then after that, they can go home. So the transition strategies, you need to learn transition strategies. For example, they cannot go out if they are not lining up, so no one is just running, go out from your class. They need to wait, or you can say like 1, 2, 3, eyes to me, and then when they look at you, then you can say, okay, we are going to the next activity. So you need to manage the transition in order your class to be organized. Okay, first set up the rule. Second, transition strategies.
All right,
Okay.
all right. Okay. How about play the game? Because I have heard that students love to play games.
Yes. Okay. Students love to play games. Yeah, it's good that in early years, we always teach everything through play, and we call it play-based. So if you teach, for example, math, we are not going to use worksheets. Like for example, worksheet is, they need to add 5 and 5, right? 5 and 5, no. We are not going to use worksheets. They, what is connect the dot, this is 5, this is 5, they connect the dot. No, not like that. In early years, we always use play. We can ask them to have like toys, like, can you get 5 toys in the class? They need to run around in the class. Can you find 5 pillows, for example, or 5 books or everything? So it's always through play.
All right. I get it.
Yes. So
Okay.
no matter what your lesson is, just do it through play, but you need to be creative for that.
All right. Thank you, Miss Multi, and also
All
Miss Neil for your explanation. That was
Yes.
beautiful.
How about Miss Priscilla? Do you want to add something, Miss Priscilla? There is no Priscilla here.
I'm afraid that she's not here. We only have Priska.
Oh, only
and
Priska.
Priscilla is this one of students here.
Yes. How about Miss Baik Yuniarti? Do you want to add something, Miss Baik? Yeah, Miss Baik is one of my former colleague here. So, all right. If not, then we continue. Okay, the next one is teachers' professional ethics. For teachers' professional ethic. Oops, sorry. Okay, if you are working in international school, the school have a school's code of conduct. It means that it regulates what we can do or what we cannot do to the students, to fellow teachers, to the administrations, or to non-teaching staff, it's typo here, and to parents. For example, to students, and this is also a challenge because I don't get used to it. It's something new for me at that time. Like to students, one of the example is that the first thing is media consent. You are not allowed to share any of the child photos or pictures or video or anything for your own personal purpose. The parents sign a letter for media consent. The first thing, you step on the international school. Don't take any videos or photos, please.
So privacy for them is very
Yes.
important. So we
Yes.
have to keep that in mind, right?
Yes. You cannot take photos or videos. The school will have one letter. We call it media consent. And the letter will ask the parents' signature that the school can take photos or video for this purpose. For example, for the class newsletter, for the yearbook, for promotional, for the website. For website, we will say Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything. We have to mention that. Then if parents don't want their kids to be exposed, then they will cross out. We have some parents that cross out like, okay, it's okay for you to take my child picture for class newsletter, for yearbook, but I'm not okay if you post my child on Facebook or Instagram or promotional purpose. So we need to respect that. And also to the student, we have child protections that you need to learn. For example, in my previous school, we were given a training about how to protect yourself and how to protect the children. For example, if you are teaching like bigger kids and they are using computers, you are not supposed to be air their back like this. It's like you are hugging from the back, but actually you are helping. You are helping, but not from the back. Because what people see, if they don't know, it's like you are hugging that kid.
Yeah.
You are not protecting yourself. You have to protect yourself. If you are helping the kid working with the computer, you have to be on the sides, like not from the back. Usually we just not, it's natural for us to help from the back, like hugging, but it's not allowed. So, and also there are some rules that you need to follow to other fellow teachers and also to the administration. The administration is like more like the admin thing, attendance, for example. You need to use fingerprints, and nowadays it's like online check-in. We use Talenta. So if you come to school, you need to check in with Talenta. If you're not coming, it means that you're absent. So you need to adjust to that because it's very high standards. So you are expected to do the standards. Yeah. And to parents, it's not really regulate how you socialize with parents, but it's just suggest you, for example, not going to the party when the parents go to that party, for example. So it's like, and also not sharing any information about any child to other parents. Like maybe you are best friend with one parent and then you talk about the other kid to that parent, and that's not allowed. So there is a school code of conduct that you can do and you cannot do. Actually, there are lots more, but that's I want to share now. Is there any questions about teachers' professional ethics, or maybe you have any experience about other ethics that you have in your school, like Miss Neo before? Let
Okay,
me see
guys.
the chat box. Chat box.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet, chat box.
Not
All
yet.
right, let me continue to the new Indonesian teachers and TA. Wow, this is one of your challenge, Miss Yuni, Utami.
Yeah, let's see whether
This
these
is what
young people can, will be eligible to apply for this.
Yeah, this is the problem that I have right now as one of the leader in this school. If we have new Indonesian teachers or TA, it's a big challenge because the option is like the ideal candidate one should have like standard English spoken and written. That I think that everyone can have that. But the second thing is the content knowledge. The content knowledge. For example, if we need teacher for early years, does she or he have the content knowledge for the early years or the experience in the early years or primary? So the problem with the fresh graduate is that they only know the language. They don't have the experience of the level of the subject specialization. But if we are looking for experienced teachers and TA in international school that already work in international school with like great English and also master the content, for example, primary teachers, and also have certain years of experience, that is rare. It's hard to find. So if you are running a school, which one are you going to take? Of course, you are looking for the experienced one. But if you don't have any experienced teachers available, then the fresh graduate one, but they need lots of training, which means time, which means resource, which means budgeting for that.
Miss Multi,
Yes.
I want to ask a question. When you talk about the content, so it means like probably you can give us like what should we provide here in the department if you want to equip our students here with that kind of knowledge, content. Not because right now we only have one course on teaching English for young learners, and it's just elective actually, not elective course. So not all students take the course. So what can you suggest to the department about that?
Oh yeah, what I can suggest is that there should be a unit. Yeah, it can be elective because not everyone is going to take it, right? So the subject specialization for like if you are teaching early years, primary, middle years, secondary, but with the content, like if you are teaching math, so your graduate should have the English language and also have how to teach math in early years, how to teach math in primary, how to teach math in secondary. So but it's a bit tricky because you also need to know the curriculum that the school use, because if you don't know the curriculum, then how can you ask them to teach the math, for example, for grade 1 in Australian curriculum, physical education in grade 5 in international baccalaureate, for example. Oh no, for primary years program. So yeah, it's good if you can create that unit, but you will have challenge, Ibu Yuni.
Yeah, for experience, right now the Ministry of Education provide an opportunity to all students from any field to teach at school for 3 months.
Okay.
Will that, yeah, and everybody will be assigned to teach in elementary school. Everybody, if they
Mhm.
apply for that program, so they will teach in elementary school for 3 months. Do you think that will help if we have that kind of very limited experience in teaching in elementary school like that? Or
Oh,
should we arrange what is the internship program, for example, so they
that's the
can
best
go.
one, Miss Yuni.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So
Okay.
by doing internship in one of the schools that that's have international programs or like international schools, it will help a lot for them to learn
Okay.
internship. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope like in Balikpapan there will be like open new international school that has been closed. So that partnership will be possible for internship. All right, the next one is cross-cultural understanding. So because for cross-cultural understanding, because we have so many different culture, varied culture, so we need to respect and adjust for diversity. I have one experience is that there is a Spanish family. You know, when the first I come to this school, I was being told by the principal that please don't take any communication with that Spanish family personally, because in Spanish, in Spain, because in Spain people tend to talk loud and like pushy, like, so if I don't get used to it, I will think that that family was angry to me, you know, because they talk loud and they push and they, yeah. So I need to respect that we have different way of talking, we have different way of culture, and I need to adjust for that. So, and that's only one culture. In the class, I have French family, I have some from Norwegia, I have everything, I have everyone in this classroom. So I really need to learn what's their culture and to respect and adjust for it. And then the challenge is that to provide specific information and support. Again, back to the Japanese family. In Japan, that boy doesn't have English alphabet. So how are you going to teach him to write and to read? And he doesn't know alphabet yet. So I was really struggle, like, how? He doesn't know alphabet yet. That's the basic, just to have the alphabet. And then the family from Norway, their alphabet is different. They have dots on the top. Like, my goodness sake, please just have alphabet around the world. It's just make life a bit easier. So I need to provide specific information and support for that occasion. So that boy is still taking his time to adjust to our English curriculum. So it takes not only 1 month, it takes a year, and now it is his second year to this school. But now his English is getting better now. He He got more vocabularies in English and he can follow the teacher's instruction. But still with the alphabet, he's still struggling with the alphabet. And with the cross-cultural understanding, the challenge is to provide meaningful engagement with the families. So for the families to feel that they are welcome in the community, as the head of the earlier, I have to come with, I have to provide meaningful engagement, means that I need to include them in the activities. So last year, I created activities in the class that invite parents to come to share their celebrations from their country. So it's like weekly, and every Friday, one family come from different country to share their celebration. For example, one family share how to make crepes in French, because crepes, like the thin pancakes, is their culture. If they celebrate something, they eat crepes. So one family come to our class and make crepes for the class. And the next week, one family from Italy share how to make like pasta, but it's fried pasta. She call it chiacchiere. I don't know how, if I say it right. So that's the thing that they eat in Italy when they have a celebration like festivals. So because we have so many cultures, so we need to respect and adjust, and we provide meaningful engagement, which is sometimes challenging because you need to plan, you need to communicate, you need to implement your plan, and it takes you an extra mile to do that, for doing that. So if you just teach in Indonesian school and all families are Indonesians, it's like maybe you share different culture from tribes, but this is international, so you share international culture. Is there any questions about the challenge with cross-cultural understanding? Let me see chat. There is no chat.
Yeah, I think even in what is it? Students need also. I think I should give them assignment. Yeah, to have a new friend from other country. I guess for the next semester probably. So they should. For the multicultural, probably I will ask a lecturer for multicultural understanding, right? So they can really practice what they know, and they can really experience the gap, the cultural gap between them and their new friend from other country. That will be a good idea. Okay, I think we can go on this.
Yes. All right. The next one. Yeah.
Oh, we have Pak Bibit here.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
Pak
Pak Bibit. Okay,
halo Pak Bibit.
Halo Multi. Ya. Apa kabar?
Baik, Bapak. Apa kabar?
Very good. Right. So there is an interesting topic you talk about, like about multicultural, just like your name, Multi. I currently teaching at multicultural understanding class, continuing Pak Limbong's class actually. Yeah, it haven't crossed my mind actually about this. So many differences, so many different cultures in one class. We only think about the culture of Indonesian culture and this English culture. Seems like by cross-cultural understanding, only English and Indonesia.
Yes.
And you have this very unique example, like you have the family from Norway, the family from Japan, the family from many countries. Okay,
Yes.
that's a new insight actually for this. So we might think of material to teach, to deliver in this multicultural understanding class actually. Yeah, this is interesting, and this is so very, very challenging, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but so what I do in the class is that for the children to know and to respect other culture is that having the parents to come and share with the activities that I said before. So it's just make the little ones understand that everyone comes from different backgrounds. We have different foods, we have different clothes, but the way we cry is the same. Like we cry, the way we laugh is the same. So there is a book for that, Pak Bibit, for the little children.
Oh,
So
okay.
there is a book about multicultural to talk to little children. So it started like, yeah, we look different. We come from different countries. We dress differently. We eat different food. We live in different house. And then we speak different language, but the way we show our happiness is the same. We smile. The way we are sad, the same. We cry. So there are some features that remain the same for humans in spite
Yeah.
of the differences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Multi, do you think that to be a special need teacher
Yes.
to be a special need teacher in special need school, international schools students, for international school students, is it true that you might need to be special too?
Yeah, you need the training, Pak.
Yeah.
You need the training because
You talk about
it's another subject, Pak. It's another subject, special education in mainstream school, like because when I was teaching in 7 years, I got that experience. So when I took my master degree, I was looking for learning the knowledge. So it needs both the knowledge and the experience to be able to deliver, to be the classroom to be the classroom teacher with a kid with additional needs.
Yeah, I'm still a bit confused with this concept actually, like special needs student and gifted students, Multi. Yeah, what's the difference actually?
Yeah, the gifted students, they are gifted in learning the content, right? They don't have the behavior issue. The distinctive feature is behavior.
Okay.
So with the children with additional needs, normally, mostly they have like autism spectrum disorder. They have behavior issue, Bapak. That should, yeah, the gifted student, for example, like very bright learner, you just need to create individual lesson plan to adjust with their, I mean, if he's in primary but he can do the middle years, then you just need to adjust the content for him. But the children with special needs, you need to address the behavior as well.
Okay. And one more question.
Yes, sure.
Sorry,
No problem.
this is an interesting topic actually. Okay. Yeah. Do you think that CLIL, do you know CLIL, content and language integrated learning, is highly applied in this international school context?
What is content and
Content language integrated. Clearly.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It is actually
Yes.
teaching math using English.
Yes, yes,
And,
yes.
yeah.
Yes. In ideal world, the math teacher should graduate from math department, but he can speak English, but we cannot find that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
The ones that we can find easily is English graduates.
mhm.
So right now I have new staff in early years.
Mhm.
During the recruitment process, those are the one that I choose because I believe if they can do the language and they can, I can train the content for them. But
Okay.
if they come like they are PAU teachers but they cannot speak English, it takes years. You know,
Okay.
like that's the choice. That's the choice. Get the English graduates or get a guru TK, for example, but doesn't speak English.
So language competence come first, the priority, and then the content.
At
And
the
then
moment, Pak. That's
Okay.
that's the choice that I need to make as the head of early years. Which option is more viable,
Okay.
faster to get
Okay.
the outcomes? So at the moment, I've been training 3 new teachers from University of Mataram. They graduate from University of Mataram, English department. No, I trained them with like Australian curriculum for early years, the early years learning framework. I trained them about Reggio Emilia, about how to make the planner, the lesson plan, how to assess, how to communicate with parents, how to handle a class with children with special needs if they have any in the class. In fact, we have one now. So yeah, I just need to train everything that they need to master to be able to run the class well.
Okay, Multi. Thank you very much for the insightful answers. Thank you.
You're welcome, Pak Bibit.
Thank you so much, Pak Bibit, for the questions. Yeah. Yeah, everybody, do you have other question? Before Miss Multi continue, probably another 10 minutes, yeah, Miss Multi, yeah.
Yeah. Is that?
Oh, there's a question for on the chat box.
Okay.
Okay, we as teacher need to understand about the student culture, but students should need to understand our other student culture. What is the strategy to make the students to understand each other?
Oh, okay. So if this is the case in international school where the teacher is Indonesian, for example, or the teacher is Indonesian and the kids are expatriate children. So the strategy to make the student understand each other is that we create like maybe Bahasa Day, for example, or Batik Day, or that let the student knows that this is you are in Indonesia and you know how is our culture in Indonesia. Last year we had buka puasa bersama. Even though they are not fasting, we invite parents to come to bring some food to share. And the kids can come as well, and they ask why I need to come, like because some of the teachers are fasting, they are Muslim. So by doing the real activities with them, by asking them to join, they will understand that that this is the culture that we have here. So the strategy is that make an activity that involving everyone to experience the culture. If you what do you want the kids? The first question is, what do you want your children to understand? What? For example, I want my children understand about Islam. So, okay, I want my children to understand about Islam culture. Okay, what is in Islam culture that We have the prayer call from the masjid, we have the prayer time, we have fasting. So how do I make activities that gets them involved? So maybe you take them to the mosque. So it's a real life experience. It's not just you are teaching in the class, tell them Islam is this. But it's better to take them to the mosque or take them to a buka puasa, for example. And that's why I ask you, what do you want your children to learn? If you want your children to learn about tribes in Indonesia, oh, I want my children to learn about tribes. So that's your outcomes. Make the activities that relates to your outcomes. Maybe you can have the song from Batak, for example. This is the song from Sumatra. Let's have the performance about this song. Or learn the dance from Aceh, Saman dance. So it's not just teaching in the class, but gets them involved. So real, it's real. Is that clear for, who's that?
Mutakin.
Yes, Maulidia.
So this is the last, this is going to be the last one, the last question from Maulidia.
Yes,
It's quite
Maulidia.
long.
Technical, which means the student from different countries, either what their accents. You have mentioned some students don't possess the language, so using that language. How do international students communicate in the school?
Because they have different languages.
Do all of just agree to use on the accent to help to communicate? I just want to know what that you're teaching now experience. Okay, all right. So how if in early years, yeah, in TK, in kindergarten, how if the kids cannot speak English yet? They will learn through visuals. So in the classroom, we will have visuals, cards for them to communicate with us. So it's visuals, using visuals in early years, but in primary, it's different. And also you need to know that children are like sponge. I have a child here last year, he cannot speak English at all. He speaks only Bahasa. His dad is Australian, mom is Indonesian. But because of the exposure of using English every day, now that boy can speak English fluently less than in a year. Like his dad was surprised. His dad was surprised that when he was 4 years old, he come to this school. When he's 5, he cannot stop talking in English. Now in the class, we have to ask him to like, can you please wait for your turn to talk? Okay.
So Miss Murthy, I can see that there is no translation station in your class, in English class, right? So we don't have to translate that because we talk in English, then they speak Spanish, for example. We don't need to translate that to Spanish, right?
No, in case it's really hard case like the Japanese one, we need to use the Google the Google Translate, but for the other language, it's not really necessary. It's like immerse, because they've been exposed to the language every day, they pick up. And children are like sponge. And they just do it so quickly. Okay, the next, do I still have time for the opportunities?
Oh yes, okay, of course.
I
That
only
will be very interesting. That will be
I
very
only talk about the
interesting.
challenges, so many
Okay.
challenges.
Let them see the reality first, and before they decide whether they're going to take
Yes.
this.
When I make this presentation, I said to myself, why the challenges are so many and the opportunities are so little? Why do I stay in the job? And the next challenge is special events or programs. And then this one is, I'm still having this challenge, work-life balance. Special events or programs, you need to be able to manage events. For example, like Independence Day or Halloween or Sports Day, art exhibitions. So you need to be able to manage an event in the school, because you never know when the principal asks you, Miss Multi, run the art exhibition program, or please manage the sports day, or so events. Challenge, yes. But after quite a while, you get used to it. After school clubs. What's your talent? If you can dance, tell that you can dance, so the principal can assist you to open an after-school club in dancing. If you are a good cook, just tell, so you can have the after-school club in cooking. And community outreach. Some schools have their philosophies that the school is not solely for the schools, it's also for the community. So some school might require you to do some community outreach programs, such as like local teachers training, or asking the Indonesian children to come to the school to play together. So you need to be able to do that. The next one is work-life balance. After the presentation that I said to you before, you can see that the expectations are really high, right? You need to be an events organizer. You need to be able to understand the culture and adjust. And then you have new teachers that don't have experience yet. You have the rules that you have to follow, you have specialization, problem with the curriculum, problem with the English as additional language, you have problem with special educations. You need to manage all of that, and it costs this work-life balance. Burnout, you need to manage your work and time, and you need to, sorry, this is typo again, communicate boundaries. So I'm still in this one. This is my current challenge now, because I'm in a leadership position. So I don't want to have burnout. So I need to be able to manage my work and my time efficiently as possible. I have my work time and my family time, if possible. And I also communicate boundaries. For example, I'm mentioning to my superior that please do not WhatsApp me after 6 p.m. I will WhatsApp you back in the morning unless it's emergency. So we need to communicate our boundaries, because if not, my WhatsApp message will ping me in the middle of the night at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, which is not, after receiving that, then I cannot sleep. I cannot function in the morning because I have less sleep. So, but it's also a challenge, because we cannot do that to everyone anywhere. Like, we cannot generalize that. So because I know my superior, so I can say that I would appreciate if our communication after 6 p.m. is only for emergency things. So Yes, it's a challenge, all right? Ibu Yuni Utami Asih.
That's right. You cannot do that easily here. You're lucky to
Yes.
have that. You are able to say that.
Yeah. All right. Any questions about this? I hope everyone yeah, but if you are thinking this as your future employment, then you have to think that because you have high expectations, then this is easily comes with that. It's one package. Work-life balance, you will have that as a challenge. Now, here comes the opportunity, which is less than the challenges. Oh dear. With the international school, the first thing is competitive remuneration and benefits. And also personal growth, yes. Expand networking, yes. Reference for future employment and future studies, and also your wait. Okay, wait. Sharing again. Right. And professional development. Okay, competitive remuneration and benefits. In most international school, we have salary scale. If you are teaching assistant, your salary is different to teachers. If you are head of departments like me, you have different salary than the teachers or the teaching assistants. So it's like a ladder, it's going up. And most international schools usually have the salary scale. So if you are teaching assistant, for example, you will have your qualifications and your years of experience. So everyone will not have the same salary because it depends on your qualification and your experience. If you just start, then you have the bottom part, and then you grow up along the way. For salary for the teaching assistant is, I don't know, normally it's like the UMK or UMP, upah minimum provinsi. Every province and kota is different, right? So what is the UMK in Samarinda, Ibu Yuni?
Sorry, Miss Nurti.
What is the UMK in Samarinda or UMP in Kalimantan in general?
I'm not really sure about that, but it's less than 4 million, I guess. Probably 3.2 or around that.
3. Yes. So that's the teaching assistant starting point. Yes. So as the teachers, the starting point is higher than the teaching assistant. And for the head of department with qualification experience, like me, you mention your number. So you
have bargaining position.
Yes, you
Okay.
bargain. You bargain.
Okay.
When you apply for a job, you bargain with the schools, with the job descriptions that you have. Okay, where is my job description? Here you are. Here is your job description. Okay, for this, I expecting this. Okay, if they can, because every school have their own budgeting, right? So it's not similar. So it depends on their budget. If you still in their budget, then they will say yes to your request. If not, they will bargain again to you to get it lower. And the benefits for the benefits, it's different from TA, teachers, and the heads of department of the principal. So it depends. But for the like the benefit that I get, I can have my son attend the school for free. That's one of the things. So I have a 2-year-old son, and he's already in the school with like speaking English. He speaks English in the class and at home. So it's really good experience for me. Like I said to myself, wow, I speak English when I was in high school maybe, or junior high school, and my son now speak English when he's 2 years old with his English friends. So yeah. And then I will move to expand networking. So because you work in such multicultural school, you will have Indonesian teachers or expatriate teachers. Sometimes when the expatriate teacher move to other school, they will know some vacancies, for example. So you don't, because the expat teachers are not in one school forever, like for good. I mean, they only stay like maybe 1 year, 2 years, and they move. So when they move, you will have new co-workers. 1 year, move again. So the more years you have in that school, the more people you know. And it expand your networking, it expand your opportunity. Because if they know that you are good, it will be likely that they will offer you opportunity in other place if that's happening. So it's really good networking, working in international school. And the next one is reference for future employment and future studies. The thing about international schools, for some positions, they will contact your previous boss directly. They are not going to accept your, for example, reference letter, just the letter, and going to believe that is true. They will check. So reference is that for future employment, they will call your previous boss. You need to be able to give the previous boss number or email, but they prefer number, so they can call or they can video call your previous boss. So if you have good reference, then it's easy. It's like an opening doors for you to everywhere. And when it was me for this school, I was still in good contact with my previous boss, but I didn't mean for the reference. It's just that I have good relationship with the family. I didn't think about job. But when this school contact me for the job, I give him his number, and this school contact him for like 2 hours, just to make sure they are getting the right person. So can you imagine? You are being investigated for 2 hours.
Digibahin 2 jam gitu ya.
and my last boss said to me, Multi, I'm running out of words how to explain about you in 2 hours. So he was laughing like, oh, I only said all good about you, Multi. Don't worry. No, Pa, it's all right. So that's very important, yeah, reference. And your future studies. When I applied for the scholarship through Australia Australia Awards, I need to add my current boss at that time for the reference letter. And she wrote me the most sophisticated reference letter that I was thinking like, that's not me. Like, wow. She just really want me to get that scholarship, and she helped me. So she's writing a very good reference letter, and I got it in that year when she gave me the reference. Because I have tried the Australia Award Scholarship for 5 years in a row. 4 times I failed. And the 5th year, I tried to have my boss reference, and then I got that scholarship. So reference is important. And if you are working with expat, they are not going to, if you are good, they're going to say you are good. It doesn't, even though like sometimes you are arguing with them, or you have argument with them, or you have different opinion, but they will respect that you are good. So, and they will write that in your letter. So that's the thing. Sometimes I feel different when in different case, like if someone doesn't like you, then you're not going to get the reference letter. So working in international school now, you will still have reference letter. They will respect you. The next one is personal growth. I feel like I'm really growing, having working in this field for almost 10 years now. My adaptability and my leadership is growing. My communication with parents, with co-workers, with bosses, with organization is getting better. And organization, the way I organize things is getting better. And also innovation, I have to innovate when I teach and for everything. And self-evaluation. In this job, you need to self-reflect things that work and things that do not work. If things do not work, don't do it again. If things works, what can you make it better to improve? So as a person, I feel like I grow a lot. And professional development growth, I grow a lot in pedagogical learning, like so many things to learn. Like I already done the curriculum, okay, tick off. The next one, special needs, oh, another thing. And then when finish special needs, oh, what is Reggio Emilia? Oh, another thing. So it's never ending. It's a lifelong learning. And the career growth, as I mentioned you earlier, when I was in Balikpapan, I was a teaching assistant. I didn't know there was such thing like teaching assistant and teacher. I thought everyone is teachers. No, teaching assistant is someone who support you in the classroom. And teachers are the one who plan and the one who implement. You just help, you support teachers. So, and the career growth, I started as teaching assistant for 3 months. I thought I was going to be teaching assistant for the rest of my life. After 3 months, they review me and they said, you're doing such a good job as teaching assistant. Now we have the vacancy to be a teacher. Would you like to be one? Like, yes, why not? So I grow in my career from teaching assistant to teachers. Now, after many years of teaching, I grow into a head of early years, into head of department. And maybe in the future, I grow into the principal or the owner of the school. I don't know, but I'm sure I will keep growing. Okay, thank you everyone. Now, if you have any questions about the opportunities, this one, please, about competitive remuneration benefit, networking, personal growth, professional growth, and reference for future employment, then raise your question now before we have to finish the session. Yes.
Okay, everybody, that's very interesting. Come on, you still have opportunity to ask questions to Ms. Multi about career in international school. She has mentioned about you can start as teaching assistant, and then if you are good enough, probably you will be hired as the teacher. And if you're doing good, you will get better position. Better. Ooh, I think, okay, everybody, do you have any question or comment? Ready to prepare yourself to join an international school? Why not? Yeah, why not? Because Balikpapan, I believe that Balikpapan will reopen its international school. Yeah, I hope so. So probably there will be opportunity. Yeah. Okay. They are too nervous, probably seeing the challenges first. And,
Yeah, that's
and
what
then
I
now
said. Why there are so
No,
many challenges and little opportunities,
but
fewer.
that's life, right? That's life,
Yeah.
right? So we should yeah, you see things from every aspects. We cannot always see the positive sides or the opportunity. We have to prepare ourselves to see the what is it the how to prepare and what we are going to deal with, right?
Yes.
So yeah, okay, guys, if there's no questions, I think we can end this session. It's very, very interesting. I've read some comments. Many of them are very happy with this sharing. Probably, I hope that one day I will see many others multi-Haryani from this department. Yeah. So actually, there's another opportunities, but it has to be from a formal side like kepala menjadi guru di sekolah internasional sekolah Indonesia di luar negeri. That's another ini ya, another challenge ya.
Another challenge.
Yeah, probably I think I can invite someone later. Because he had an experience as the headmaster in Cairo, if I'm not mistaken, Indonesian school, tapi di sana. Terus harus bagaimana gitu ya. Jadi mungkin itu juga menarik. Dan ini luar biasa banget. It's very amazing sharing. Thank you so much everybody, students, for asking questions, showing your interest to our talk today. Thank you, Miss Neo, for also sharing your experience. Yeah, Neo was also one of our students here, and I also see some participants from outside of the university or from outside of Lawarman University. Thank you so much for attending this occasion, and of course to Miss Multi Haryani. You will be in Balikpapan very soon, right? So
yes,
we will hang out again together. We will share many ideas to talk. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Multi. Thank you, Pak Bibit. I also saw Ibu Ida Wardani, if I'm not mistaken, and also Pak Venture.
Pak Venture, I saw Pak Venture.
Yeah. And also I saw Ibu Ida.
Yeah. I'm here.
Hi, Pak Venture.
Thank you so much.
Nice to see that you are now growing up in your knowledge.
Yeah.
Growing up and growing wide.
No, you are.
Yes, I'm growing wide physically.
I was thinking about, yeah, I know your name is Multi.
Yes.
But I was thinking what I met you in many years ago, right?
Yes, you were my lecturer, one
I
of my
know.
lecturer.
So when I listen again your name, Multi, all right.
You still remember my name?
Yeah, I remember your name because when I called your name, I was thinking about many people because multi means multi.
More than one, okay.
Yeah.
More than one.
Thank
okay,
you, Pak
congratulations,
Venture.
yeah. Congratulations, multi, yeah.
Thank you, Pa. It's because of English department.
Yeah.
It was
I
my
know.
starting point.
Yes.
It's my foundation.
Okay.
English department was
Yeah.
my
I'm-
foundation.
I'm happy if my student X, my former student
That's right.
becomes great, becomes success. Yeah,
They had a good career, yeah.
good career.
Having good career. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank
Pak
you,
Venture. Thank you,
English
Pak Budi. Thank you, Miss
Yeah.
Multi. So I think that's all for our sharing session from the practitioner talk today. I apologize for any inconvenience, any technical
Issues.
disturbance, issues in this meeting. Thank you so much. And what is it? The certificate will be delivered within 3 or 4 weeks, yeah, because there are other things that I really need to finish first. Thank you so much, Miss Multi. Thank you, yeah.
Thank you for the time.